Hello there. My name is Alicia, aka Edmiston Creations, and I am a wife, mom, social worker, and athlete living in the mountains of South Central New Mexico. And this is a space where I really like to integrate all of my different life passions together. I do mainly share about making, mainly knitting and sewing projects, but I like to blend in different general mental health and wellness tips that you can apply to your own making process, or your life in general if you're so inclined. And I also like to share a bit about what I've been up to, maybe doing some activities with my family or working out. So if any of that sounds like it would be interesting to you, then please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future content. And welcome! I am really happy that you're here. So today, my intention with this episode is to share the takeaways that I have from memademay. memademay is wrapping up as the month of May is coming to a close, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to reflect on my original pledge and just see, like, what have I learned and what do I take away from this month of really trying to focus on developing a deeper relationship with my wardrobe. So that's still going to be the main event. But before we dive into that, I did want to talk about what I'm wearing today. This is a me-made outfit. So I am wearing the tessellated vest by Andrea Mowry. I was very fortunate to be able to test knit this for her last year before the Rhinebeck sweater release. She released this vest pattern along with the tessellated pullover, and I really love this vest. I knit mine in the Moondrake and Spin Cycle collab yarn. I don't remember what Moonspun? I don't remember what they called it, but I mean, it's dyed by Moondrake, and she has the prettiest dyes. So this was the dark purple, but on the Spin Cycle, like dyed in the wool sport weight yarn base. And then I used Wool Lolo dyed in the wool as my Spin Cycle color shifting yarn, and I used Moondrake Fua Fua in the color of light purple or lavender. But all three yarns were a dream to knit with, and I really love this vest. And now that the summer is here, I find that I am looking for outfits to wear this with more. I do wear it by itself as a tank top, but I also really like to layer it with different items I have in my closet. And so, yeah, I love it. And like wearing it today, I've been thinking more and looking at my stash that's like actually behind the camera here. I've been thinking more about, I really need another tessellated vest in my wardrobe, but I can do that to myself really easy with knitted items, like especially knitted things that I love. Like, oh, I need another one of those. I need another one of those. I need another one of those. And then, but the thing with knitting is it is a slow craft, and it's very difficult to find the time to knit all the things I want to knit. So I'm sure that you can relate, or hopefully you can. So I have to keep a check on myself with that. So anyway, I actually am wearing this tessellated vest with a hinterland dress that is sewn in some really cute butterfly moth fabric from Spin Cycle Supply Co. The buttons are also these little orange speckly, polka dotty buttons are from Spin Cycle Supply Co. Micah helped me pick these out, And yes, Spin Cycle Supply Co. does have fabric. Um, and so I actually reached out to Micah asking her about what bug fabric do you have in stock right now? Because I'm really feeling making a bug, a bug dress. So I picked this one and made a hinterland dress with it. And this is this is the first hinterland I did with the cap sleeve. And I actually I sewed this hinterland with the tessellated vest in mind. I really wanted to try out, just get the feel of what the tessellated vest or a knitted vest in general would look like layered over a hinterland with some sleeves. And you know what? At first I put it on and I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I like this, but I kept wearing it. I was like, well, I'm not going to take it off just yet. I'm just going to keep wearing it while I get ready and see how I feel. And my feelings definitely shifted. I do really like this outfit together, and I will certainly wear it again. I want to make sure that I snap a picture to, keep record of this outfit so I can remember it in the future as something fun and different to wear. And I will get into some more of that with my memademay takeaways. I don't want to jump right to that. So the only thing I have to share today as a finished object is dun, da, 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 another traveler hat. So this is a traveler hat in Pushkin. So this is the worsted weight pattern. I did a size 4 and used a 4mm needle, a size US 6 needle to knit this hat with. And I intended this hat to fit me. And it does. I mean, I'll put it on. I mean, it totally does fit me, but it's a little bit like, it's just a little bit snugger than I want it to be. Oh my God, I love this color so much. So it's just a little bit snugger than I wanted it to be. And so I just thought, I was like, Ella, come here. And I was like, do you want a new hat? Yeah, mommy. So she ran up to me and I put it on her, and it looks so adorable on her. So I'm gifting this hat to her, and this is what I had left over in my skein of Pushkin, and I ordered another skein of Honey I Do on Pushkin, and I am going to knit myself a size 5 hat with the size 4 or size 6 US 4mm needle. I really like this fabric. Initially I was thinking, so I did gauge swatch for this hat, but this is a very great example of sometimes gauge swatches don't really give you the full picture. This ended up fitting smaller than I expected, and I was pretty much on gauge with the US 6, but it did come out smaller than I expected. So for all these reasons, I am going to stick with this same size needle instead of going up a size and knitting the size 4. I'm going to stick with the same needle and knit a size 5 for myself. So it'll be a little bit like slouchier, looser, bigger, whatever. So it'll give me the fit that I want. So my daughter and I will have matching hats. So I'm really excited because, I talked last episode about how much I love the traveler hat pattern. I really like the simplicity of it being one color. You use one needle size once you decide on what needle size gets you gauge, and it's very easy to remember. And I really like it as a knit and walk project. So I will likely be doing that, casting on for my next knit and walk project. Right now, while on my knit and walks, I have been knitting on my kindling socks by Larkspur Knits. Um, they are almost done. I'm on the foot and I'm very close to the toe. So, yay. Anyway, so now let's dive into the memademay wrap up, is what I like to call it. So, starting out in before the month of May even arrived, in late April, I decided my Me Made pledge was going to be to mix and match different sewn, handmade, but sewn on my machine back here. So different sewn and hand knit items. I wanted to mix and match those things. And instead of really thinking like, well, does this go together or are these my colors? I wanted to lead with play and joy. Like, my daughter was really my inspiration for my pledge. I wanted to play around with colors and textures and prints. Hence this outfit idea that I'm wearing right now. Never in a million years would I have thought to put this together, but Ella totally would. She would be like, yeah, it's pink and turquoise and yellow and purple and all the things that I love, so I'm totally wearing it. No rules, man. So yeah, I really wanted to, I love how she will put outfits together and she'll spin around and she's just so happy. And I wanted to allow myself to embody that type of energy with my wardrobe. And luckily, I really feel like I was able to do that throughout the month of May. And it really has been a lot of fun. So the other part of my pledge was to, I would continue sewing and creating. You know, sometimes people will stop sewing altogether and will just focus on, you know, dressing and outfit pairing and styling. But I did want to continue to sew because that's just something that brings me joy and I like to do it. But I was going to sew from stash only. And I will say that I mostly did that with my preview sew for Matchy Matchy. I broke the rules and I bought the Cairo linen from U Fibers and in the colorway of lime. So I did sew from something that I bought for that item. And then the Petrichor Pinafore by Sew Liberated was released this month. And I was so surprised by how much, like, I mean, you know, this was an unexpected pattern release for me. I didn't know that that's what they had in the works. And so I just loved the pattern so much. And again, Ella was my inspiration. So I did buy some pink viscose linen knoll from U Fibers to sew that, and I really love it. So those are the two things that I did not sew from stash. Everything else that I sewed this month has been from stash fabric. So not entirely a success there, but I did prevent myself from just going crazy and buying a bunch of things in the month, which was really my main intention. Was I wanted to decrease my consumption and really focus on what I had and not what I didn't have. So kind of starting to get into the things that I learned that I jotted down here. So I'm going to lead with, you know, our mind has a natural tendency for a negativity bias. So it's normal to focus on what I don't have or what I want more of instead of what I do have and what I enjoy. So I'm going to lead off with the things that I realized about my wardrobe and the things that I have. So, I tend to sew a lot of pants and dresses. That's kind of my go-to items to sew. I think because dresses are really quick and easy for me to wear in the summer for warmer weather, but also they're really fun to layer with in the winter to stay warmer. And I have a lot of hand knit items, sweaters, cardigans, things like that. So like, it's easy to throw a sweater on over a dress if I'm cold, and same with pants. So it was really cool for me to see like, wow, I really, those are things I enjoy sewing, and I have a lot of those items in my closet. And within the types of dresses that I have sewn, I sew mainly sleeveless dresses because I do find those easier to layer than like a cap sleeve or a longer sleeve dress. But I am really interested in sewing more cap sleeve or short sleeve or longer sleeve dresses to have those items in my wardrobe as well. But yeah, it was really neat to see that, well, those are the things I have a lot of. I also tend to, in fairness to me, I do tend to run cold no matter what the temperature is outside. I mean, I do get warm and stuff in the summer whenever it's hot outside, but for the most part, I'm looking to put on a sweater or grab a blanket no matter what time of year it is. So it does actually make sense to me that I would have mainly dresses and pants in my wardrobe for that kind of the warmth factor. So I also realized I have a pretty versatile handmade wardrobe. I've got skirts, I've got shorts, I've got pants, I've got tank tops and t-shirts and dresses and rompers. And do I have a ton of those things? No, but if I'm in the mood to wear a romper, I can go to my closet and put on a romper. And I thought that was pretty cool. I have been sewing for a little over a year now, so I was really impressed with pleasantly surprised by the versatility of the things that I have sewn so far. I noticed that I can sew linen much better now than I could last year. Like even in the fall into the early winter, I can sew linen much better now because of sewing with knit fabric more. The more that I have sewn with knit fabric, including like fleece, like thicker knit fabric, or jersey, cotton jersey, my linen sewing is much more accurate with my seam allowances. I cut linen better now, which I met a seamstress at the Hill Country Weavers retreat, not this past year, the year before, and I will never forget her saying, if you don't cut it right, you can't sew it right. And you know what? That holds water. I mean, the better I am at cutting linen accurately, I just find that linen wiggles around a lot. And I have heard some people say linen is very easy to sew with. I think cotton and quilting cotton and poplin, I think that behaves very well and easy to sew with. And I think linen can be tricky. It does tend to wiggle and move more for me. It doesn't have that same stability as like quilting cotton or a cotton twill or a cotton poplin does. So yeah, I've been really happy to see that I can sew better with linen than I could even like 6 months ago. Let's see. I realized that, part of the things that I take away or the things that I noticed were the things that I gravitated towards in my Me Made wardrobe. So I noticed that I tend to go to elastic waisted pants or shorts or skirts over zipper fly or button up kind of stuff. And I thought that was interesting because I think in my head, I have always had, I've just always had in my head like zipper fly stuff or zipper stuff is better. And I think the reason why I had that notion was it's a more, zippers are definitely a more advanced or a more complicated sew. So I was just thinking, well, that's a better sewn garment, so it's better. I love my zipper fly Arthur pants that I've sewn. I've sewn 2 pair. I love the invisible zipper garments that I have in my wardrobe. So don't get me wrong, I love a zippered garment. But when it comes to just like my general, like, I guess my general relationship with my wardrobe is one of cozy and function. Man, give me some elastic waisted pants all day. I love the chanterelles. I love the elastic waisted Arthurs that I have. I love the berry pants that I have that are elastic waisted by Style Arc. And I've sewn a few pair of bob pants by Style Arc that are also elastic waisted, and a gypsum skirt that is elastic waisted. And those are things that I, if I'm looking for cozy and comfortable and function, I tend to grab those over zipper stuff. Now that's not to say like I said, I love my zipper items too, but it was really nice and refreshing for me to notice that. It's like, oh, well, hey, it's okay for me to keep sewing items with elastic waisted pants because I really like that. So I'm gonna keep making more of them, and I'm gonna keep making more zipper fly pants too. Like, it was just nice to know like everything has its place. So into that same token, I realized I really like rompers. I never really considered myself a romper person. I did sew a Tate romper last fall, and I ended up, so in the fall here, it was already starting to be pretty cold, like 60 some degrees would be the high temperature. And so the Tate romper, I would be really cold wearing it by itself. And so I would want to wear a sweater or a cardigan with it. And I wasn't really sure. I mean, I wore it maybe twice after I made it, and then I hung it in my closet, and I really didn't think much about it until a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was like 75, 80 degrees here. And I was like, I'll give wearing my Tate romper a try. So, and just to see if I like it. And it's an invisible zipper garment. There's an invisible zipper on the side. And I wore it that day, and it is awesome to wear in warmer weather. I really like wearing the Tate romper by itself. I don't necessarily like layering things with it, but I'm not opposed to it. But yeah, like, it was really cool to say, like, hey, I do like rompers, and I am going to make another Tate romper specifically, but now I'm open to sewing other romper patterns as well. I don't think I'm ever going to be like, sew all the rompers, I don't think that that's really me or my style. Never say never, but yeah, I do have sewing another Tate romper on my agenda, just because I did actually enjoy wearing mine so much in the warmer weather. So that was a really nice, pleasant surprise this May. I realized that I really like skirts. As much as I sew dresses, skirts have their place too. And so I do want to sew another gypsum skirt this summer. We'll see when I get to that. I can't decide. I don't have a vision yet. I mean, I don't know about you, but in my making process, like, I tend to have a vision of that finished item in a certain color or a print or something that helps to lead me. And right now all I know is I would like to sew another gypsum skirt. I just love the big pockets. They're so fun. But I don't have the vision of the color, if I want it to be solid or textured, you know, printed. I don't know. So I'm gonna let myself continue to explore that, and we'll see. Lord knows I have plenty of other things that I can sew and knit and stuff in the process. So it's not like it's not a crisis that I don't know what gypsum skirt color or whatever I want to sew yet. So yeah. And then let's see, the other thing I realized was, you know, I tended to like think, well, I really just like knit fabric tees and tanks. But I realized this spring and summer that I really love a linen top. Like I really love the Ashton tank top by Helen's Closet. I want to make a Florence top, which is a little peplum top by Merchant and Mills. I preview sewed the wave float top in linen. And so, you know, like that's something I really do want to have some more linen items, or tops specifically, in my wardrobe, and not just all the cozy tees, even though I do love a cozy tee. I think my go-to outfit, like for just lounging around the house, is a pair of chanterelle sweatpants or berry sweatpants and a bedrock tee. You can find me in that probably about 99% of the time when I'm home. So, so yeah. But it was really cool to know, like, yeah, hey, I would like to sew some more shirts as well. I think the other reason why I don't sew, or I haven't sewn a ton of tops yet, is all the knitted items that I have. So, you know, there's time. I'll get to it. So, you know, so it's just something that I noticed. And let's see. I also noticed that I'm more drawn to wearing linen items over, like in warmer weather. Linen is definitely my preferred fabric. Now this is a really awesome, this hinterland dress is a really awesome cotton poplin, and I love cotton poplin in warmer weather too. But then in colder weather, give me all the fleece, and I'm so here for all the fleece and the flannel. So that was cool to recognize that too. I think probably that, so I saved these two for last, because I think these are the most, I don't know, they're not profound or anything, but they're like kind of, I guess they're the ones that stand out to me the most. One, I realized I don't have to be afraid of bright colors, and this was so refreshing to me, because I think I don't know about you, but I do have like kind of my color palette, the colors that I tend to gravitate towards. And if you've been following me for a while, you probably know my color palette. I do tend to go towards deep saturated earth tones, very soft, just a very soft palette in general, like soft on the eyes. And I draw a lot of my inspiration from nature, so it doesn't surprise me that there's a lot of blue, and there's a lot of green, and there's browns, and there can be very deep jewel tones like this dark purple or navy neutrals. I'm definitely in my like taupe and oatmeal era, I think, right now, with knitting and with fabric. So, this has really been a pleasant surprise for me to realize I don't have to be afraid of bright colors. I mean, hence like this outfit, you know, the fabric is a really fun bright color, but also like with the wave float top, whatever it was with that design, I really was into the idea of like sunshine. And so that lime color it's called lime, but it does have a slight green undertone, but it's like a highlighter yellow. And I really love it, and I love wearing it, and it's a lot of fun. And I gave myself permission to go out with this, lime green Pishkin in the Honey I Do colorway. So I'm really having fun kind of breaking out of my comfort zone and doing some brighter colors every now and then. So that has been a really nice thing to realize. So then the last thing that I realized was earrings and accessories really can just change the whole vibe of an outfit. I'll start with today. Like, I changed my earrings. Like, these are earrings that I got from the Farmer's Daughter Fibers. And before I put these on, I had in some stud turquoise earrings, and I don't know, like, I just did not like that look at all. And I put these earrings in, and they really changed the vibe of the whole outfit for me. And that was more what locked me into, like, oh yeah, I like this together. So, sometimes you don't even have to change the actual clothes you have on your body. It's just change out your earrings, put on a bracelet, put on a hat. One outfit I wore this month, when my daughter's class went to the zoo in Alamogordo for a field trip, I wore my Joni shirt dress hack, and instead of just wearing it by itself, I threw on a belt with a big belt buckle, and I wore my party line scarf that I knit by Young Folk Knits as a head wrap. And so, like, I had on this pink knit head wrap and like a big Southwest sparkle rhinestone belt buckle, and it just totally changed the vibe of just like a plain shirt dress. So, the next time you're getting dressed, like, think about your accessories, or if you have on an outfit and you're just like, well, this is kind of bleh, throw on a belt, change your earrings, put a wrap in your hair, or tie a bow in your hair, and see if that makes you feel differently about what you have on, because it might. You never know. And you may still not like it, but then, just change your outfit then at that point. So yeah, overall, I will just say, like, I had a lot of fun with memademay, and I really look forward to next year and seeing what all I learn about my relationship with my me-made wardrobe. And yeah, I mean, it's really nice to, again, focusing on what I do have. I really have a lot of beautiful handmade clothes, and I want to, treasure the things that I make and pass those on to my kids one day whenever they grow up. And so I really think of the things that I make as heirloom quality items. So yeah, I hope that this episode finds you today well, and I do want to kind of wrap things up here with asking you to share if you participated in memademay. I would love to hear what things you learned about yourself or your relationship with your wardrobe. Please comment below. I would love to hear. And also, what things are you doing, just as a gentle healthcare or mental health care reminder? What kinds of things are you doing for self-care? I think that sometimes we can think that self-care has to be some like big thing, like going to get your nails done or going to the spa or something like that. And self-care can really be something simple. And I really do, after this month of May, I really do find getting dressed as an act of self-care. And it really can be a way to show yourself respect and acceptance in the moment. So give it a try. I would love to hear the things that you're doing for self-care as well if you would like to share. And let's see, I think that's it for today. So until next time, happy mindful making.